What do I think of Trey Lance? I've seen him now 3 times this offseason, twice in OTAs, once in minicamp. He really has improved. Everyone's saying it. It comes across a little patronizing sometimes, like, this guy really sucked in the past, but now he's improving. I don't really see it that way, but let me tell you, like, an honest assessment of where he's improving. So, one thing his critics point to is the short throws. They say he can't hit a layup, he can't throw a slant, he can't throw a screen. In the past, there was some truth to that. We've seen him miss some screens and some slants that he should hit that Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy would hit. Today, all throughout the offseason, I've seen a guy who's much better on the short throws in a lot of ways. In the past, when he would throw a slant or a shallow cross, he would throw it as hard as he could. He would grunt as he threw the 5-yard shallow cross. Like, you can't throw the ball like that. There are some throws, a lot of the short ones, that you don't need to throw as hard as you can. In fact, you shouldn't be throwing them as hard as you can. They're practically underhand throws. And you can see now on the 5-yard passes, he's not throwing them as hard as he can anymore. That's a big development. And so while I gave him crap for dinking and dunking, gave both him and Sam Darnold crap for dinking and dunking in OTAs, his dinks and dunks are a lot better than what they used to be, because I think that's a good word for dinks and dunks. It's a sound. It's an onomatopoetic phrase. It's not a bang, bang, which is what Trey Lance's checkdowns were. It's a dink and a dunk. It's finesseful. That's not a word at all. But there's finesse involved in the dink and the dunk. And Trey's was a kapow, bang, boom. So now it's more of a dink and dunk. And I thought he had a 70-yard touchdown pass today that went about 30 yards in the air, 25 yards in the air. But his best throw of the day was just a 10-yard throw over the middle to Brandon Ayuk on 3rd and I want to say 5, okay? Because this is the throw that people who have written off Trey say he can't make, that Purdy can make or Jimmy can make. In the shotgun, 3rd and 5, get the ball, rock and fire. 1 step, slant, no hesitation, quick release. Don't throw it too hard, throw it in stride. He did it today, and he's been doing it all offseason. So that is the biggest improvement I've seen from him just in terms of throwing, the quick throws. He has a nice deep throw. His throws over the intermediate throws are a work in progress in terms of accuracy, although he was hitting them today. But if he can't hit the layups, he's a lost cause, right? Well, he's hitting the layups now. If you are a Trey Lance skeptic, but you're open-minded and you sincerely hope he improves, this should give you some hope that he can now hit, or not, he is now hitting the layups consistently with touch and accuracy. That's good. So that's what I've seen, and it's only been 3 practices. George Kittle's seen all the practices. It's been 7. And what he says is he sees a guy who is much more confident and comfortable in the pocket than the past 2 years. I could see that. And a guy who's actually enjoying playing football for the first time in a long time, which is interesting. Wow. I mean, George Kittle always seems to be enjoying playing football, and I don't see how you could play at a high level if you're not enjoying it. Trey Lance has all the talent in the world, but if he's out there not enjoying himself, probably none of that talent's going to come through. So that's significant. I guess I can understand why he wasn't enjoying being the quarterback of this team. There's a lot of pressure. He was pushing out Jimmy Garoppolo, their friends, and boy, a lot of people don't like Trey Lance for being thrust into the situation. But from what I see, he's making incremental progress. I'm not saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's going to start. But if you want to know what Trey Lance 2.0 looks like, it looks like a guy who hasn't scrambled once. I'm waiting to see what full-speed Trey looks like post-ankle surgery, but he's not playing like that. They're not calling zone reads. They're not installing quarterback-driven runs. He'll, roll out a little bit here and there, no scrambling, just throwing. And really, right now, when he's on, he looks like a young Dak Prescott in terms of how he throws. When he's off, he looks bad. But frankly, I don't think he's looked off this offseason. I mean, he had a good first day of OTAs in front of the media. His second day of OTAs in front of the media was a little bit shakier, but he had like 3 or 4 drops. And one thing that's important that people don't talk about with Trey, he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. Jimmy Garoppolo does a lot. He'll throw passes to defensive players standing right in front of him. Sam Darnold does too. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Trey Lance, he'll have some wild misses, but he generally doesn't miss and hit defensive players in the hands, at least in practice so far. When he misses everyone. He misses the receiver, the defender, the coach on the sideline, the cheerleader, the ref. I'm sorry, I'm being mean. But I think that's actually an underrated skill. For a guy who's scattershot, who's working on his accuracy, he does protect the football. He does it in practice. He does it in games. So that's what I'm seeing from Trey Lance 2.0. Answer a couple questions. Marco Bravo says, what do you think Kyle told Trey on the field? What do you guys think? I'd love to know. It was, hey, man, was it, sorry, man, you're stuck with me for like at least 3 more months, dude. Sorry. You're stuck with me. I'm sorry. Or what was it? I would love to know. Was it something like that? Or were they joking about the last episode of Succession? Matthew Sanders says, is it okay yet to get excited about the deep ball? Not if Sam Darnold's the quarterback. Coach says, Trey's last throw, the seam to Ray, was it his last progression read? Did he see it early and come back, or did he see it right away and hit it? Ooh, you'd almost think the coach was there. Did they post it on social media? It was a good throw. Let me go back. The way I remember it was 3rd and 10. It was his first read. It was no hesitation. That's the way I remember. It wasn't like, let me look over here. Oh, look who's wide open standing there over the middle. It was, no, 3rd and 10, shotgun. There's a brief little window where he, I think it was zone. I think he just got past the linebackers. He's right between a linebacker and a safety. It was a really nice throw. It was the kind of throw that you wouldn't expect Trey Lance to make. And that was right. That was right after the touchdown. These were 3 throws in a row. 3rd and 3, he hits Ayuk on the slant to the left. I thought that was his best throw of the day. The next throw, 3rd and 8, touchdown Danny Gray. You could argue it was a better throw. I mean, it went downfield. Next throw, 3rd and 10, seam to Ray. You could argue that was his best throw. I mean, gotta have it. 3rd and 10, hits Ray McLeod, first read between 2 defenders over the middle. I think that, and again, like old Trey Lance might not have even thrown that, had the quick enough release to get it there, but he's been in the system. He's changed his throwing. You'll see it yourself. He's changed his throwing mechanics a little bit. He's better at getting those quick balls out quickly, short passes out quickly. Boom, rocked and through. Look good. Good question. That was his last throw of the day. It wasn't the last throw of the day. The last throw of the day was 3rd and 8. Big Brandon Allen drops back, hits Willie Snead for 20 yards, deep out. No one wants to talk about Brandon Allen being... I feel like Brandon Allen is this year's Brock Purdy, right? Like Brock Purdy, no one talked about Brock Purdy last year. He got 4 or 5 throws a day, and he was doing fine, but no one talked about him because he was only getting those few throws. In retrospect, people were like, I think I saw it. Maybe 1 or 2 people did. But that could be Brandon Allen this year. Just no one's going to say it because he's 30. But he apparently developed Joe Burrow. Jake kicks like Trey threw his first year. Dude, I've never seen someone miss a 38-yard field goal with more oomph. I mean, he really put everything he had. He put both cheeks into that kick. Just sailed it.